Let's make way for Rob Gronkowski. I know. I'm confused. UNLV will face Cal at the Art of Sport LA Bowl, hosted by Gronk at SoFi. That'll be Wednesday, December 18th at 9 Eastern. The four-time Super Bowl champ joining us on the program. Who calls you Rob?
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Hi, bud.
Danny, Danielle. I don't know what your name is either. We got all different types of names.
I don't have a nickname, but who calls you Rob?
So like my close friends call me Rob. My family members call me Rob. And that's basically all. I'm basically known as Gronk to a lot of my teammates. A lot of my teammates, depending on how they refer to me as, like if Julian's referring to me as like the football player, he calls me Gronk. But like if we're hanging out and we're just chilling and it's just us and it's more personal, he calls me Rob. But yeah, that goes with a lot of teammates as well. So basically my family, personal situations with teammates, and my close friends growing up, basically my friends from Buffalo, they call me Rob. Other than that, it's Gronk. And I love it, man. I love the name Gronk. And here's a little story too with it, is that my other brother, Dan, he's the second oldest brother in my family. He was nicknamed Gronk his whole entire life, all the way up until he got into the NFL. And then I took it over because I'm a big shot like that.
Did you want to play for Buffalo when you were growing up?
When I was growing up as a kid, I 100% did want to play for Buffalo. That was the team. I mean, I was a Buffalo Bills fan. I loved Eric Moulds, Takeo Spikes. That era right there was the era where I was really into it. We weren't really passionate fans like you see now with Bills Mafia, because we were just so busy with everything going on with my family, how I had 4 brothers. So we didn't really get to too many games, but we were Buffalo Bills fans just overall as a whole. And definitely always dreamed of playing for them. But I think it worked out for the better when they passed on me twice. And I always used it as motivation as well. Like I pretend like I was really pissed that they didn't take me. But deep down, I kind of knew that when I got drafted to the New England Patriots, that it was a way better situation at the time. The moment when I really wanted to play for the Buffalo Bills, I would say if I had a chance to, would have been the last 4 years, of the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. So when I was in Tampa, Buffalo Bills, they were legit. And then after I was done in Tampa as well, over the last 3 years, I had a couple thoughts. Hey, how cool would that be to play for the Bills? I actually talked to them at one point before I went, back to Tampa Bay for my second year, just because, they have a solid team, Josh Allen. Just how cool would that be to play 1 year? Getting drafted there wouldn't have been cool because I got drafted to an unbelievable situation, but to play a year with Josh Allen would have been really cool. But unfortunately, it just didn't happen.
Okay, explain the situation where Joe Burrow is trying to recruit you to Cincinnati, and did you know that was Joe Burrow actually trying to recruit you?
All right. So that story kind of went big recently. So here's what happened. I got duped like 5 years ago. Actually, not 5 years ago, however long it was, when Malcolm Brown got drafted first round to the New England Patriots. He texted me, and then I texted him back, and then it was a fake number. And that's what I talked about. And then I told myself, hey, I'll never respond to fake numbers anymore, or random numbers that I don't know, because I was getting a lot of them. So then after my second year playing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I've got asked plenty of questions, like when you're doing media stuff, you go to Media Row, all that, wherever it was. Hey, what young quarterback would you love to play for if you could play with? And I was like, Joe Burrow. He reminds me of Tom Brady. I watched him in the national championship game at LSU. And just the way that he stays in the pocket, the way he goes through all his reads, just the way that he presents and carries himself. I really think that would be cool to play with him. That's my young buck quarterback that I feel like I would thrive with. It blew up everywhere. Like I wanted to go to the Cincinnati Bengals. And this was right after I retired from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So then we fast forward, we're at the white party. And we talked about this on my podcast, Dudes on Dudes, but we're going to recap it right now. My new podcast that I host with Julian. So check us out for plenty of stories as well. But we go back. We're at the white party, and there's Joe Burrow. I never met him in my life, and we just chat real quick. He's like, "Yo," because he texted me right after I said all that about him in Cincinnati that I wanted to play with him. And that's when I didn't text him back because I didn't believe it. I didn't want to get duped again. So I see him at the white party. We're hanging out talking. He's like, "Yo, Gronk, I texted you, bro." Just along those lines. And my eye shot up. I kind of got embarrassed because like I would have texted him back if I knew 100% because I'm a big fan. I really am. And I was like, "No way, bro. That was you." He's like, "Yeah, man, you ghosted me." It was just along those lines. And like I kind of felt bad because like I wanted to respond to Joe Burrow. I mean, he's a cool dude. And I just told him, I was like, "Hey, it's probably a good thing I didn't." He's like, "Yo, man, I could have used you." And I was like, "No, when I'm retired, trust me, you don't want me out there on the field. It would have only brought your play down, buddy." So that's how it went down, man. And he's a
Okay.
cool dude, and that's all.
We're talking to Gronk. How often, like, I got to believe your personality with Bill Belichick. Were there times when he, like, would scold you at being a goofball?
I would say my just a few times because here's the thing. If you show up and you ball out and you perform and you're consistent with balling out and performing, Coach Belichick is going to let you do whatever you want to do. As long as you ain't getting in trouble and all that. Like if you're having fun, but you're balling out, he lets you do what you do. But if you're doing all that other nonsense, tweeting nonstop, causing controversy, and not balling and having all this extra activity going on, yeah, he's going to get on your case. So it was a good thing that he was barely on my case because I was balling, Dan. I was balling my second year in the league. I was balling my rookie year in a way, my third year, all that good stuff. But every once in a while, he would get on my case. And it was just funny, though. He would get the whole team laughing that he's yelling at me about something that I did stupid. But it would straighten me up and it would button me up to, he was just letting me know, "Hey, you better clean up the act before it gets out of control," just along those lines, but nothing too serious.
Can you see him coaching a college team? Could you see him coaching at North Carolina?
I mean, I can tell you this. Coach Belichick is the best coach, hands down, in the game of football. He has more knowledge than anyone I've ever talked to, and just more knowledge of the game, just inside and out. He knows everything, the playbook, rule book, you name it. This guy, special teams, offense, defense, this guy knows it all. And he would be a great coach at the University of North Carolina. My only question is, how would he do? Because when you're a head coach in college, it's kind of like not really being a head coach. It's not about all football, from my understanding, and meeting head coaches in college and seeing what they do. It's more about managing the program and also managing these kids and recruiting them. I can't see Coach Belichick, being all in that situation. Coaching wise, 100% on the field, getting these players ready for the NFL. That's what he would do. But hey, when it comes to recruiting, I think that's the question mark, and that's really up to him if he can see himself doing that. Which me personally, I can see him getting tired and old with all that transfer portal, NIL stuff going on.
What if he said, "Would you be my tight ends coach?"
Oh man, I'm not into the coaching world, Dan. I really love what I'm doing. Analyst with Fox on the pregame kickoff show. That's going so well. Coaching is just not in my forte. I love the game of football, but that's just not me. I can see myself coaching though. Like if I have a kid one day, like my brothers have kids, I go to their game, just give them a tip or so and watch them do it. Like I can see myself doing like little league and stuff like that, but no coaching college or NFL.
The bowl game, second consecutive year you're hosting this bowl game, the Art of Sport LA Bowl, hosted by Gronk at SoFi, Wednesday, December 18th at 9 Eastern. How did you get involved? Like, what is your goal with this bowl game?
It's just to expand, my family name. That's for sure. Keep it in the helm of the football world, which 100% it's doing, and just go out there and motivate kids as well. Keep the name as on a positive track. And just to stay in the football world is really cool because I actually played in this bowl game as well. It was the first bowl game that Arizona went to in 10 years when I was at the University of Arizona. And it was actually called the Vegas Bowl at the time, but it was the same exact conference matchup as it is now. And then it got moved to the LA Bowl in Los Angeles in 2020. So it's just a cool atmosphere. You know, my goal is to bring energy to the crowd, to bring energy to the teams, all that good stuff. Like last year, I sang the national anthem. I did a couple other antics. It wasn't that great, but at least I had, you know, a chorus with me. I had four others as well with me, so it made me sound decent. You know, it made me sound all right. I also raced the Boise State mascot last year, which was a dog, and I beat the dog, and the dog only lost one at a time, you know, in its life. So just doing that type of cool things, bringing the Gronk effect to the game, and that's what it's all about. Just gronking it up and having my friends, former teammates, former college teammates there, my family. So it's just a good experience and great atmosphere.
You getting married soon?
Oh man, that's a great question right there, my man. I mean, I'm with my
We're getting close to the holidays.
Yes,
you know
we are. I've been with my girl for quite some time now. She's wonderful. She's the best. We totally understand each other's schedules. You know, when I'm on the road, she's on the road. Sometimes she goes with me. Sometimes we bring the dog. Sometimes she stays back. We have it down to science, that's for sure. We basically already are. I mean, we act like we are, but you know, might have to move into the future step coming up soon, man.
Okay, all right. Just saying, around the holidays, that sometimes you get a little pressure.
Well, we do watch all the Hallmark movies, so and that's what they're all about. So I feel the pressure from the Hallmark channel every day.
Congrats on the success, and good luck with the bowl game. Always great to catch up with you.
My man, Art of Sport LA Bowl game hosted by yours truly, Grant. December 18th, 6 p.m. Get your tickets now. Dan, you're invited. Come to my suite, baby, if you want.
Thank you, Gronk. Thank you.
Yes. Take care, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
That'll be UNLV facing Cal at the Art of Sport LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.